Hi guys, welcome back. Today let's learn about separation of substances. Before we dive into that, let's learn what is science and chemistry. Science, the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Biology is the study of living organisms. Physics is the study of nature, properties of matter and energy. Chemistry is the study of matter and why substances combine or separate from other substances. Chemistry. Chemistry is the study of matter, its properties, how and why substances combine or separate to form other substances and how substances combine. Chemistry is the branch of science that deals with properties, composition and structure of elements and compounds, how they can change and the energy that is released to be or absorbed when they change. Chemistry is the scientific study of the properties and behavior of matter. Separation of substances. In our daily life, we use many substances that are mostly mixtures. The substance which is made up of one particle is known as pure substance. Pure substances are either elements or compounds. They usually mix to form mixture and compounds. Mixture. A mixture is made up of two or more substances mixed up together in any ratio, and the substances can be separated by simple physical methods. Example, tea or chai. Compound. The substances which make a mixture are called components or the constituents of the mixture. In a mixture, the components that retain their individual properties. The examples are salt and sugar. Types of mixtures. A mixture can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Homogeneous mixture has a uniform composition throughout and the components cannot be easily differentiated or seen by eyes. Example, salt solution or sugar solution. Here is an example of it. Heterogeneous mixture. It does not have a uniform composition and the components can be seen by the eyes and differentiated easily. Example, sand and salt, mud and water. Here are images of these examples. More types of mixtures. A mixture can be different types based on physical states. Number 1, that is solid in solid, alloys, brass, bronze, etc. Number 2, solid in liquid, that is salt in water. Number 3, solid in gas, that is smoke. Number 4, liquid in solid, that is jam, jelly, shoe polish, butter, etc. Number 5, liquid in gas, that is milk in water. Number 6, liquid in liquid, that is humidity. Number 7, gas in gas, that is sponge, pumice stone, etc. Number 8, gas in liquid, that is aerated drinks. Number 9, gas in gas, that is air. Separation of components of a mixture. A mixture can contain harmful or undesirable substances. These harmful or undesirable substances are required to be separated from the mixture to get pure and usable substances. Methods of separation. The choice of methods to be used for separation depends upon the properties of the constituents. There are different methods used for the separation of different mixtures. Separation of solids from solids. Handpicking. This method is used to separate undesirable or harmful components which can be seen by a naked eye. The size, shape, color of the harmful components are different from the main components. Example, rice is separated from stone by the method of hand picking. Here is an image of that. Threshing. Threshing is the process of loosening the edible part of the cereal grains from the scaly, inedible chaffs that surround them. It is done by beating the stalks on the ground or by using mechanical thresher or harvester like this. Winnowing. It is the method used to separate heavier and lighter components of a mixture by blowing wind or air. It is commonly used by farmers to separate lighter husk particles from heavier seeds of grain. Sieving. If the constituents of a mixture have particles of different sizes, they can be separated with the help of a sieve. The size of the pores in the sieve depends on the size of the particles of the components to be separated. Magnetic separation. Magnetic impurities like iron can be separated from other components non-magnetic by using a magnet. Magnetic impurities are attracted to the magnet and come out. Separation of solids from liquids. Separation of soluble solids from liquids. Some solids are soluble in water. They need to be separated to get pure or unharmful substances. Separation of insoluble solids from liquids. Some solids are insoluble in water. These need to be separated to get pure or unharmful substances. Separation of soluble solids from liquids. Evaporation. The conversion of liquid into vapors is called evaporation. Evaporation takes place from open surface at ordinary temperature. Rate of evaporation increases with the increase in temperature. Salt is obtained from sea water by the process of evaporation. Crystallization. While evaporating a solution, a stage comes when the amount of solvent is very less. It is called concentrated solution. When it is allowed to cool slowly, crystals of the dissolved start separating. This process is called crystallization. It is used to obtain substance in pure form. Separation of insoluble solids from liquids. Filtration. This method is used to remove insoluble components with the help of porous filter like filter paper, strainer, muslin cloth, etc. The filter is selected on the basis of size of the insoluble component. The liquid which passes through the filter and comes down is called filtrate, and the insoluble component left behind on the filtrate is called residue. Here is an image of that. Loading. Loading is the process by which the mixture of liquids and liquids containing tiny impurities is separated by adding a chemical that sticks to the impurities and makes them heavier. In muddy water, the fine mud and dust particles are suspended, which is soluble in water and used to load particles of clay. They become heavier and settle down. These particles can be easily removed by filtration or decantation. Here is an image of that. Sedimentation and decantation. Sedimentation. In sedimentation, the heavier components of a mixture settle down. The settled down components are known as sediment. Decantation. Decantation is the process of pouring out the liquid without disturbing the sediment. Here is an image of that. Centrifugation. The process in which the lighter components are separated from the heavier components by churning. It is done by rotating a liquid on high speed by hands or with the help of machine like mixtures. Centrifugation is used for separating blood cells from plasma cells, removing fat from milk to produce skimmed milk, separating water from clothes by spin drying in washing machines. Separation of liquids. A solution is a mixture in which a solid is dissolved in a liquid. The property of dissolving solid into liquids is called are known as solubility. A substance which dissolves in water is known as solute and the liquid is called solvent. Saturated, supersaturated and unsaturated solution. A solution which has lesser amount of solute than the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved is called an unsaturated solution, while the solution with maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in it is called saturated solution. A solution which has more than the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in it is called supersaturated solution. A supersaturated solution is prepared by heating a saturated solution to dissolve some more solute to it. Miscible and immixable liquids. If two liquids mix well with each other and they cannot be seen separately, then they are known as mixable liquids. If two liquids do not mix well and not be seen separately, they are known as immiscible liquids. The mixture of two immiscible liquids can be separated by distillation. Distillation is the process of boiling the liquid mixture and condensing the liquid is vaporized first. Distillation is used only if the liquids have a difference in boiling point more than 25 K. Condensation is the process in which vapors are converted into liquid on cooling down. Fun facts: camphor is a solid which is directly converted to vapors on heating without coming to liquid state. This process is known as sublimation. Camphor can be separated from a mixture of camphor and sand by heating. Camphor changes to vapors which can be collected and sand is left behind. Oil and water are miscible liquids, but if a little soap solution and detergent is added to the mixture, then the mixture has milky appearance and it becomes a stable mixture which is called emulsion. Thank you guys for watching my videos. Meet you in the next video. Bye bye.